Welcome back, YouTube. Today we're going to talk about price action and kind of do an update here. If you've been following my channel, we talked about this in my last video. I gave you all the price points as far as for where I'm going to be a buyer and where we can possibly go to grab liquidity, because I was saying that because of the uncertainty, this can potentially last a couple weeks here where we can have either this cash grab at liquidity, which means that we will go down and grab some liquidity and possibly hover around there, or have a short rally, or we can just kind of consolidate here in this short, uh, really just, I won't say bandwidth, but short time frame that we have here, with saying that, okay, we're going to bounce around maybe like 3 to 2%, depending on how much the asset actually costs. But overall, that this pretty much translates to that we're going to see a lot of up and down and short bursts and trend sideways for these assets. So we did kind of have the a shift downward. We saw Bitcoin the other day to lose about $1,200 in value. We saw Doge take a dive. We saw pretty much the entire crypto market simultaneously take a dive, as it typically does in sync. But overall, this just means that we're pretty much trying to grab liquidity here, because when you have a decline in volume and you're at I won't say not at a strong support level, you'll typically go down to grab some of that liquidity. So pretty much what we expected to happen happened. But I wanted to make this video before I get into the other prices here. I want to particularly point out Ethereum, to say that I am just, if you see Ethereum drop down, don't be shocked, but I am watching Ethereum very closely. And price wise, this is what I mean why it may be in trouble, because we have been filling gaps. You'll see that this one pretty much has been filling here. And we have about, I want to say, maybe $100 before we're looking at a serious gap down in Ethereum price. At this point, this is where I'm going to be a buyer. We can potentially, if we do fall, we can potentially catch again at around 1333. The bottom of that trend would be somewhere at around $1,100. Ethereum is the closest right now we have to seeing that major downtrend. So, and not Ethereum, just trying to put FUD out there or anything like that. The charts say what the charts say. And the same way that we historically, Ethereum fills these gaps here, I don't think this time is going to be any different. So we have roughly around $100. If we start to see Ethereum closer to around $1,500, you can start to look out and see if we're going to break with conviction. And we have that breakdown here. We'll see potentially a gap fill down here, and you can kind of look out for maybe 1,300, depending on what type of free fall we're going in. If Bitcoin breaks down during that time period as well, you're probably going to see at the lower 1,100. So that'll be a really great time to buy Ethereum if you're a bug or something like that. That's what I'm going to be doing, in my opinion. Again, not financial advice, but I'm certainly looking forward to getting it at around that price. Let's take a look here at BTC, which led the shock in the market here. Same thing, filling the gap, literally what we talked about. We're closing in on some of the light support where we kind of can grab some liquidity and kind of see what's there. Overall, it hasn't held up too much. We've seen a few areas on here, but normally this area gets bypassed. This is around the high 21 range, so we can potentially see a bounce here, but it's looking like we're trying to start today in green, because we did get a pretty decent rejection here. But overall, if this liquidity, the volume stays low, and we keep pricing in what we're expecting Powell to do here in mid-March, you can expect us to kind of come down to around this 20 range here, which has been historic for giving us, or historic for having liquidity waiting there for this asset. So this could mean a further dive down in assets for the crypto market. So just kind of keep that in mind. Doge here. Same thing. We did get a decent rejection here. This is even a stronger rejection than what we had on Bitcoin. And typically you'll see that around this 710 mark, you'll see we typically get reactions like this, because you'll see that we've come down, we've bounced off of it. We even got some liquidity off of it last time, but we have rejected off of this relatively close, because technically speaking, this 717, 712 mark has been so strong that we have not broken below it since Elon purchased Twitter. This is the Twitter acquisition right here. So the lowest we've come down, which it has been this 712 mark. We have not bounced below. And this one time here, but we immediately grabbed liquidity and had three green candles, and came back up to this level here. So this 712 mark is really, it is typically a lot of liquidity waiting there. Now, at that 712 mark, this does entice me to buy. Anything below that, obviously, is really enticing. This is where we found, prior to the Elon purchase of Twitter, this is where we found a lot of the support here on this 596, basically like 6 cent mark. So this has been anything at this level, I'm really attracted to, because obviously from here, this is how people who were acquiring here, they were able to get 200+% returns if they were swinging or trading and stuff like that. So obviously this is going to be attractive for a lot of reasons to investors. So but anything at around this 712 mark or lower, I'm interested, and I'll be acquiring. I did buy a little bit the other day though, when it had that dip down, just FYI. But I'll be more aggressive when it drops below in that range that we have here. And we'll take a look here at ADA. Again, Ethereum is the closest to having that breakdown here. ADA got a strong rejection right here, but which is where it needed at this 32-cent mark, because if anything below 32 cents for ADA is going to mean the same thing that we were talking about for Ethereum. And that's literally that fall here. And we could potentially see maybe 26 cents, but overall the bottom of that is going to be around 24 cents. But Ethereum did get the rejection, not Ethereum, Cardano did get the rejection here that it needed. But it's just something you're going to have to watch here, because this candle is forming red. We're going to see where these candles close. These are daily candles, by the way. We're going to see where this candle closes here, but we can see that fall here. And again, same thing with Ethereum. If we're starting to fill this gap down here, I'll be certainly enticed to buy. This will certainly set my radar off to make for me to consider making an entry here, because I'll obviously like these prices down here. So Ethereum, Doge, not Ethereum, Bitcoin, Doge, they have some markers relatively close where they can grab liquidity from. Ethereum and Cardano, they're kind of on thin ice here with these candles and where their pools of liquidity are, because if it's not there, more than likely we're going to see that breakdown, and possibly, since we still have a few weeks out there, and we could potentially see the market trend down further as we're pricing in the high probability that Powell is not going to pivot. We could potentially see these sell-offs here in Ethereum and Cardano. Doge, BTC, that's to be determined, but just kind of keep an eye out for those two assets so that you will know why. And if you are looking to increase your positions or add them to your positions, it's something that you can take a look at on your own. So those are the price updates that we have for crypto. We'll obviously see where this kind of starts pricing in things on Monday as the market opens. Take a look at futures and stuff tomorrow, and we'll kind of see how the market is going to play out for next week. Overall, just let me know in the comments, where did you kind of get spooked when we had that breakdown, or were you just excited to add to your positions? Share the video, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and I will see you in the next one.